What is up, YouTube? This is Mike, also known as Flash, and I'm here bringing you another Black Ops 2 competitive gameplay and commentary. I'm sorry I've been kind of only putting out 1 or 2 videos a week. I'm going to pick up. It's just I have such a bad computer. If you don't know me, I have a terrible computer. It takes about 4.5 hours to render one video, and every time I do a commentary, like half the time it just freezes. So it's really hard to put out good content right now. I'm actually building my own computer. I had a friend pick me out some parts, so the parts should be coming in about 2 weeks, and then I'll be able to put out a lot more commentaries and gameplay. And with that, I'm also going to start live streaming. I have good enough internet. I have like a 25 download and a 10 upload, which isn't the best, but it's definitely good enough to stream in HD. And I'm going to try to make it pretty cool. I'm going to try to get a green screen and things for a webcam to see how that goes. But the main focus in this video I wanted to make it about is sponsors, and how one would represent a sponsor and how they would acquire a sponsor. So recently, not as recently, I guess a month or two ago now, the whole Killa thing happened with Epsilon and him blowing up at UMG Atlanta. And I read numerous posts about how Killa would not find another top team because of how he acted. And that's just not true. And I go on a ton of forums every day. I'm like a forum junkie, and I'm still reading things about it. And then more kids saying now that they knew he was going to get picked up because he was a top player. And basically, it was never a doubt that he was going to get picked up by a top team. There's no way you're one of the best players in anything and not get picked up. And you can use real life examples. A real life example would be like, Michael Vick went to jail for his dog stuff. He lost all his personal sponsors, but he's still part of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's still going to be part of a team because he's one of the best players in the world. There's always going to be a home for best players in the world, and that is the same for esports. So Killa's always going to have a team that's going to be at the top just because of what a great player he is. But it's going to be way harder for him to land individual sponsors. Nadeshot has his individual sponsors. I know he had Red Bull, and then he has all of his optic sponsors as well. And that's just not what a company wants to look for when they're putting their product out there for you. Esports is still growing, especially Call of Duty. It's nowhere on the scale of League of Legends or Dota or anything like that. So for a company to put their neck out there to give you financial backing, you need to do your best to really show what the community has. You should think that you're not only representing yourself, so you want to make yourself look good, but you should also be helping the thing that you love grow. And it's really easy. I think that people overthink it a lot of times, or they just don't care, and that's really stupid, seeing as that once you're being paid to do it, it's basically a job. Whether you do it for fun or whatever, it's your job, and you're representing people. And where I wanted to really go with that is an example of myself. All you really have to do is promote their product. All you are is a basic billboard and advertisement. I haven't been on the pro circuit since 2011, but when I was bouncing around teams with Young Gun with Karma, and I was on Juked with Spacely, I was a pretty good player. I was definitely a top 16 caliber player, but I was nowhere near like the optics or the complexity than Quantic Gaming, Leverage. I was nowhere near the top 4, definitely top 8. But what people don't know is I lived basically off a sponsor for 2011, of personal sponsors, because I had networked myself well enough, and just it wasn't even big companies. It was local companies, local game companies, Game Shacks and things like that. And all really people want is you to tweet out their products. So I used their products and I tweeted about them. I made some references on my old channel about their products. I just wrote blogs about it, and it's so easy. You don't have to be the Nadeshot of the community to get a sponsor. Maybe if you're trying to get Red Bull, yes, you do. But it's easy to start small and work your way up, and while doing that, you make yourself more marketable. So say you start with a small company that may just give you I know this isn't a small company, so don't take it that way, but say you just start off by being sponsored by Gamma, and you don't get any money from them or anything. All you get is the actual Gamma powder to put in your drinks. So let's say you get on the Gamma Street team, and you just represent them, and you do your thing. You put it in your bio, you tweet out pictures of you drinking it, you say how good it is. It's definitely going to help you because you're going to be more valuable to their company. They're going to like you a lot more, so they're more likely to give you more things. Maybe they'll give you a discount code, or maybe they'll start paying you. I know they pay writers and things like that. But it's also leaving you a resume with other companies so they can say, like, hey, you know, look, I've been sponsored by X company for a year now, and this is all I've done for them. You know, they basically, they want you to be giving them as much as they're giving you, per se, seeing as, like, you should have an insight to the community. That's not their specific specialty, so they need help from you, and then you need help via products or money. So I just think that people really need to more focus about it. It doesn't need to necessarily be a job, but you need to treat it more professionally. And I personally do treat it as a job. It's just something I've done since I was, 16 years old. I'm 21 now, and I can say I was the first one to be an immature kid on game battles. I was on first page teams in Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, and I just thought, like, none of it mattered. I would talk shit. I would post whatever I wanted to hurt people's feelings. Like, it didn't matter, and it definitely does matter, because to this day there's people who now have worked their way up and they remember me. I was that, that asshole kid, and it just burns bridges. So I really think when it comes to representing yourself, it's really not as hard as you think to get sponsors. Just, have a good personality, market yourself, and then represent your product. Once they sponsor you, it's basically your product. It's, associated with you. So do your best. Don't let it slack. And, the more companies you get a good reputation from, the better chances you are to make it in this whole gaming thing. I mean, hopefully, Nadeshot's not in school and he makes a living off it, and so does Optic, but I know most of them are still in school. Hopefully there's a few players who become big enough to make a living off this, and then one day maybe all the professionals in the future. I know League of Legends pros take off from school and they have to be really serious about it. So hopefully just in the near future we get to that level. But that's all I'm going to really say about that. Like I was saying, this is another S&D gameplay on Raid. You got to bear with me on the gameplay and commentary and league play. There's only so many certain game types and maps, so they're going to be repetitive. But definitely let me know what you think. Tell me what computer you thought I should have got, because I want to compare. I think I got a pretty good one, but we'll see about that. Let me know if you've been sponsored, or if you were, how your strategy would be to represent their company to make yourself look better. So that's going to be it today, guys. Take care. Peace.
Clear the objectives. Bomb acquired. Bomb is armed.